This is not a drill. This is not routine. And this is not a symbolic gesture. Tonight, the United States has made a major military move that is sending shockwaves across the Middle East and far beyond. A U.S. aircraft carrier strike group has entered the region amid escalating tensions with Iran, signaling that Washington is preparing for all possible scenarios. This move is being watched closely by allies, adversaries, and global markets, because history tells us when aircraft carriers move, the world pays attention. So what exactly just happened? According to U.S. defense officials, a nuclear-powered American aircraft carrier, along with its full strike group, including guided missile destroyers and cruisers, has now moved into the U.S. Central Command Area of Responsibility, which covers the Middle East. This is one of the most powerful military formations on Earth. An aircraft carrier is not just a ship. It is a floating airbase it carries. Dozens of advanced fighter jets, electronic warfare aircraft, surveillance and reconnaissance systems, thousands of sailors and pilots, and weapons capable of striking targets hundreds of miles inland. This deployment gives the United States the ability to launch air operations, defend shipping lanes, intercept missiles, and respond instantly to any escalation. Why now? Why Iran? This move comes amid rising threats and hostile rhetoric from Iran, along with growing concerns about attacks on U.S. forces, allies, and key international shipping routes. Over recent weeks, Iran and U.S. officials have exchanged sharp warnings. Regional proxy groups aligned with Iran have increased activity. Intelligence assessments have raised alarms about potential attacks on American interests. The Pentagon says this deployment is meant to deter aggression, protect U.S. troops and allies, and ensure the United States can respond decisively if the Far East situation escalates. In simple terms, America is positioning power before being forced to use it. What message is the U.S. sending? The message is loud, clear, and deliberate. The United States is saying, we are watching, we are ready, and we will defend our interests. Aircraft carriers are often used as strategic warnings, not just war machines. They allow Washington to apply pressure without firing a single shot, but they also ensure that if diplomacy fails, military options are already in place. This is classic U.S. military doctrine. Strength first, talk second. How has Iran reacted? Iran has strongly condemned the U.S. move. Iranian officials have warned that any attack on Iran will be met with a powerful and decisive response. U.S. military presence in the region does not intimidate Tehran. Iran considers American deployments a threat to regional stability. Iran has also emphasized its ability to target U.S. bases in the region, disrupt key shipping lanes, respond through allied forces across the Middle East. This war of words is intensifying, and that's what has analysts worried. Because historically, major conflicts don't begin with missiles. They begin with positioning. What about other Middle Eastern countries? Regional nations are treading carefully. Some key U.S. partners in the Middle East have made it clear. They do not want to be drawn into a direct war. They will not allow their territory or airspace to be used for offensive strikes against Iran. This shows how delicate the situation is. Countries are trying to balance security partnerships with the U.S. while avoiding retaliation from Iran. The Middle East is once again walking a tightrope between deterrence and disaster. Does this mean war is coming? Right now, no official war declaration. U.S. leaders say they are still pursuing diplomatic channels, de-escalation, regional stability, but they also stress one thing repeatedly. They are prepared for every outcome. Military analysts say this deployment does not guarantee war, but it dramatically raises the stakes. Once such massive forces are in close proximity, miscalculations become more dangerous. A single incident, a drone attack, a missile test, a naval confrontation could rapidly escalate. Why does this matter to the world? Because this region is critical to global oil supplies, international trade routes, energy prices, and geopolitical stability. Any conflict involving the U.S. and Iran would impact global markets, disrupt shipping, send energy prices soaring, and pull multiple countries into the crisis. This is not a regional issue anymore. This is a global concern. The bigger picture, this aircraft carrier move is about more than Iran. It reflects a shift toward hard power deterrence, rising instability in the Middle East, a world where military readiness is again becoming the primary language of diplomacy. For the United States, this is about credibility. For Iran, it is about resistance and influence. For the rest of the world, it is about avoiding another major conflict. Final words. Tonight, one thing is absolutely clear. The U.S. has made a major, calculated, and highly visible move. An aircraft carrier now sits closer to one of America's most complex adversaries, not by accident, not by routine, but by design. Whether this leads to talks, tension, or confrontation, the world is watching. Because when aircraft carriers move, history often follows. If you want next.